I already told you.
Independent nature.
I already
going to make the question further.
I already told you. Look, when I ask you, yeah, but look, what you're not getting is I asked you under what modal scope is God necessary, right? And you haven't answered that question, so I want an answer.
I mean, I've quite literally defined the modal scope for
contingency. Okay, what is it?
Times.
What is it?
I've literally told you several times, and everybody inside this chat has heard it.
Yeah, what is
God does not derive his existence from.
That's not a modal scope, dude. You don't know any philosophy at all, right? That's not a modal scope. A modal scope is, I already told you the three main ones: physical modality, metaphysical modality, and logical modality. So which is it?
Once again, we already talked about the fact that metaphysics and logic are going to be related.
Yeah, so what? Logic and physics is going to be related. That doesn't entail an issue.
Or not is irrelevant to whether it's necessary under one, not the other. Right?
Yeah, so you have to, if you want to pause it, God is necessary, you have to derive a contradiction from his negation, right? That's what necessary means.
That's not true, because that's not true. First of all, I've been listening solely for a few minutes here. It seems like you either have a very severely bad understanding of how philosophy works, or you have a very tainted understanding or a misunderstanding. Right? Because the whole point that is being mentioned to you here, okay, is that in order for you to maintain a form of necessity, okay, then certain things have to be completely disqualified from the equation. So when you proceed to ask for things that obviously do not need addressals, what you are doing is actually you are begging the question, right? The reality is that we're presenting that
How have I begged the question? What did I beg the question on, Jihadist?
Well, let me finish and I'll explain. Right? When we define a infinite being, okay, or a being such as God, we have to ascribe a necessity to him. Otherwise, that would be contradicting his nature. It would be violating his identity. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Okay, I'm jihadist, right? You agree with me? I am jihadist, correct?
Yeah.
Can I be jihadist and not jihadist?
No.
No. So any conclusion I derive from this structure, whether sound or unsound, is solely derived from that claim. I don't need.
You're talking about.
So your argument is well, I've defined him as such, and therefore we have to accept it. So what's the argument for that?
No, it's not me defining it as such. If you have a different understanding of what necessary means, then the argument would be linguistic. We would be arguing the linguistics of what is necessary.
When we say something is necessary, right? Look, when we say something's necessary, we're ascribing some sort of existential modal category, right? So you'd have to tell me under what modal scope is God necessary?
Well, which modal scopes are you referring to? And why are you? By the way, why do you keep mentioning the modal scopes so heavily? Because I don't see it as related.
All right, look. Because modal scopes are going to heavily relate to something like, is it contingent? Is it impossible? Wait, hold on. I'm answering the question. Let's not immediately interrupt. Or is it necessary, right? So if that's your question, then it's just going to be the case that there's going to have to be some sort of modal scope under which something is entailed, right?
No, because the interpretation being valid under one scope and then another interpretation of that scope being false, and then you rejecting it based off that premise is called the modal scope fallacy.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, look, the modal scope fallacy is just when I say like, look, let me answer the let me answer the question, right? So, say I say something is physically impossible, right? It's impossible for a human to fly, right? Now, it's not impossible in virtue of a contradiction. It's impossible of physical modality. So when you say something's contingent or necessary, that's what I'm trying to get at. Under what modal scope? And you haven't been answering the question.
Did you say metaphysical or physical modality?
So, look, when we make claims like God's necessary, right, I would accept...
My question is, did you say metaphysical or physical modality just now?
I said, I mentioned physical and logical modality. That's what I mentioned.
Okay, okay. When it comes to physical modality is irrelevant because we already hinge metaphysics on logic itself. Anything that's metaphysical can be proven directly as a derivative of logic. Yeah. You don't need any form of any other existential modality or any other mutually exclusive modalities.
Well,
so obviously the scope of the modality would solely have to do with a logical conclusion.
Well, regardless,
all I'm saying is that if would you agree with me that the necessary conclusion to A cannot be otherwise of A, otherwise A is not A? Would you agree with that?
The necessary what? Say that again?
Okay. So the necessary conclusion, of A cannot be another different. It cannot be a different conclusion. Otherwise, that would invalidate A being A. In other words, I am jihadist. I cannot be anyone other than jihadist. Otherwise, jihadist is not
Right.
jihadist.
Yeah,
Right?
sure.
Okay.
I can grant that.
Great.
Yeah.
That is called a necessary conclusion. Okay.
That's
Now,
not
when you
no,
think-
no. That's not necessary,
Now-
right? Like, for
now,
instance,
it is-
if you want to
it
have
is-
like,
it is-
wait, hold on,
it is
no. You
necessary.
asked, no. Let's let
It is
other people
necessary.
speak now.
It is
Look,
necessary.
when we talk about, look, no.
I'm
When
not
we
done. Bad boy.
Oh my God.
Bad boy.
look, when
It
we
is-
talk
it is-
about
it is a
world
necessary-
index
It
modality,
is a
right?
necessary conclusion. It is a necessary
That's not a
conclusion.
necessary conclusion. Look, for
It is a
instance,
necessary
like,
conclusion.
like,
You were
like,
saying it's not
Jihadist, let me
necessary,
ask you a
you're saying
question.
it's
I'm
necessary
literally
conclusion.
trying to ask you a question, right? That's not necessary, but it's true.
Screaming into your, can you
Something
relax and stop
here,
screaming into your microphone?
here.
Thanks.
Look,
So
something can be
Now let me-
true
let me-
and not
let me-
necessarily
let me-
true, right? Like, what do you think contingent means?
okay, I'll get to that momentarily once I'm done explaining my example and why it's not. Why
No,
it's necessary
because I want to respond. Like, I don't want you to like keep steamrolling, right? So, do you actually want to address the critique?
You didn't,
Do
Terrence,
you-
you didn't respond. You
do
just said it's
I
not
was
necessary.
going to-
That's your
yeah.
response. You didn't,
I was
you didn't
about to
understand why it's
respond.
not necessary.
Yeah, let me give you the
Well, I
reason why it's not necessary, right? Like,
Your
for
reason
instance,
is BS.
there's
Don't
gonna
care about the reason.
what you haven't even heard. Okay,
Yeah,
what was
I
my
don't care
reason?
about the reason, 'cause it's not a-
Repeat back to me. What was my reason, Jihadist? What was my reason?
It's not a topic up for debate.
What was my
Either you
reason?
accept the premise or you're rejecting the law.
Hey, Jihadist, what was my
So-
reason?
So again, we'll repeat.
What was
Again, we'll
BS
repeat,
about
right?
my reason?
Can a moderator interfere? Because
He can't even tell me. He said my reason was BS. He can't even.
Okay, go ahead.
Look, what you're doing is like what animals do, yeah, when they're under danger. You feel the threat of my argument coming, yeah, and when an animal is cornered, what does the animal do? Starts making the loudest noise possible to stop the enemy from coming forward. So I appreciate if you relax, put your guard down. I'm not gonna bite you, okay, and let me make my argument. Don't interrupt me halfway through. If we want to have a conversation, you let me finish. Now, the reason why I'm saying that it is necessary, okay, that it is a necessary conclusion is because all other forms of negating that conclusion is a rejection to the law of identity. Again, we started off with the premise, remember, that I cannot be other than myself. If I am other than myself, I violate my own identity. Therefore, it is a necessary conclusion that I am myself. Okay? Now, any other form of negation, you could make up whatever opinion you want in your head. I do not care. I'll repeat, I do not care. Reason being is that you are either A, in favor of the law of identity, or B, you're rejecting the law of identity. Okay? Now, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, if you say, well, Jihadist, your definition is bad, okay? I want you to give me an example where A is not A, yeah, I would like you to provide me another conclusion to the law of identity where A.
Yeah, I
is not
accept law of identity, right? But if we want to posit God as such, wait, hold on, look. But that doesn't mean that you're gonna necessarily exist, or there's gonna be some entity that necessarily exists in virtue of how we defined it, right? Because I reject S5 and world index modality.
Those are my claim.
Right?
Those are my claims.
Wait, your claim is, it looks like from my perspective that your claim is something like, well, God is necessary, and in virtue of that being his very essence or something, it's going to entail from that he is in fact necessary by law of identity, so there would be a contradiction.
I'm saying
right?
you cannot have an unnecessary God. You cannot claim you cannot claim your God is infinite, yeah, and maintains all these certain very specific attributes such as all knowledgeable, all powerful, and then remove the necessary value from that because he's not all powerful. There will be a potential scenario or a potential in which he's not powerful.
No.
So it has to be necessary in all cases.
Well, I mean, when we say all powerful, right, that just means the possibility to actualize all logically possible states of affairs, right?
No, it means that in every form of actuality or even potentials, yeah, he is powerful. You cannot have a possibility where he's not powerful. That would violate his identity.
Right, so that's your claim, right? So like, I'm wondering, what's the
argument?
What's the argument for the omni properties?
Well, they're the justification for necessity.
They're the justification. No, they're not. That's not what necessity is defined as.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, of course they are. Would you like me to repeat?
Look,
I'll repeat
no. I'm asking, no. You define God as such, right? I'm asking, what is the argument that I would be committed that such a being exists?
Yeah, I'm not asking you to be committed. Who said I'm trying to invite you?
Look, a rational agent. Under what circumstances
Okay, listen, I
would
think
the
you have
rational
this
agent
weird-
accept the argument?
Okay, I think you have this very weird like pseudoscience of like being centered around yourself, right? I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to portray my viewpoint. Okay? Now
Yeah,
whether
go
you
ahead.
don't like
That's
my
what I'm
viewpoint,
asking.
that's a
Go
you
ahead.
problem, right? If you don't have a refutation to my viewpoint, that's a you problem.
I
Now,
do, right? I'm asking
yeah,
you, in virtue of what do I have to
No,
accept
no,
such a being
no.
exists? In virtue of what? What's the argument?
You don't have.
But
you don't have
he's
to-
not trying to invite you.
What do
already
you no
repeated,
what
he's
no
not
no
trying
what do you
to
think
invite
have
try
to
not
means? Like
Bro, this guy. This
okay, in virtue of
Again, you
what
have this-
is
you
the
have this
argument?
weird
Okay.
centralization around yourself, right? I'm not asking you to accept. In fact, I don't want you to accept. Yeah. If anything, what I'm doing is I want you to receive the message wholly, properly, fully, so that on the day of judgment you don't have an excuse and say you didn't know. Okay. So what I'm explaining to you is as follows. Okay. I'm explaining to you my viewpoint. This is what I hold to be from God. Now, if you have a problem, yeah, you can make a counter argument. But to say that
Yeah, I'm
I need
asking
to,
you a question.
I need to convince you as a rational agent. I don't give a damn. I don't need to convince you. I don't want to convince you.
Yeah, who cares, dude? The idea is like okay, the idea is like in virtue of what is the argument that there is such a being?
Because the negation would be a rejection of the law of identity.
No? Okay, like look, it wouldn't be a rejection of the law of identity, right? Like I'm just gonna reject
Yeah,
that,
but-
obviously. Like for instance, wait, let me finish. Okay,
Yeah,
for instance, I could just posit there is no such being such that he has these omni properties, right?
Yes,
Like,
it
what's
would
the
be
contradiction with that?
It will be a full negation of the law of identity. And I'll explain
Wait,
why
no,
it's
it's
a negation
not.
of the
Like
law.
if I say an apple doesn't
I'll
exist,
I'll
it
explain.
doesn't follow
Listen,
that.
you're asserting, but you're not really.
Does an apple have is an apple equal to an apple?
Is an apple able to an apple?
Is an apple equal to an apple?
Can you speak English, please? Yeah,
Is
an
an-
apple is an apple. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I say an apple doesn't exist, does that follow that there's a contradiction?
If you say an apple does not exist,
Yeah.
that would be a contradiction in terms. Yeah.
Wait, so if I have an imaginary apple in my head, it follows it exists?
No, because you didn't say it was an imaginary apple. I was assuming.
No,
you're
but
talking
I'm
about
defining
something
the
actual.
apple as existing though.
The apple as existing in your conception is potential. We're talking about actualities. Do you not understand?
Right.
dogmatic?
So you'd have to give an argument that God is actual.
Do you have like do you not understand how dogmatic
Yeah,
attitude
look,
works?
the idea is I can just say something similar with an
so-
apple, such that the apple is going to be necessarily existent, and you would be committed to the view that you've negated the law of identity if you negate the apple.
Yeah, anything in actuality, I'll repeat my argument just in case you did not heard or you were babbling about your conception, because you seem to, again, it seems like you have either a very weird Napoleon complex or a God complex, because you're not listening to the argument and you think it's all revolving around you. We're talking about
Yeah,
actuality.
no, not at all.
Whatever is in potentia is irrelevant. Okay. Now, when we say something is all powerful, you need to ascribe that with necessity. Otherwise, it fails to be all powerful. Okay. Because if it's not necessary, if it's not necessarily true, then there is a potentia in which that thing, okay, or an actuality or a different form of actuality, if you believe in a world of forms, for example, like Plato,
Yes.
where that thing would not be all powerful. Okay, so if you ascribe something with all power, with something being omni-powerful, okay, or you provide it with an omni-attribute, it requires necessity in order not to violate its identity. Again, I'll give you an example. I am jihadist, right? I can only be jihadist. It is necessarily true that jihadist is jihadist. Yes?
Yeah, but
Okay.
no, look, it's
Can
going to be
you let-
necessarily true, but it's not going to
Let me
be
finish.
true.
Let me finish.
Dude,
Let me finish. You're doing
You've
it
been
again.
going on a tangent, right?
I haven't
Look.
been going on a tangent. I've spoken for exactly 45 seconds, and you're already pooping your pants because you're having like a 5 mental breakdown.
Yeah, no one's having a mental breakdown over you
Now-
did. No
now
one's scared
I'll
of you
repeat.
did.
The fact that you're justifying that you're not having a mental breakdown is you having a mental breakdown. So
Really?
I'll
Are you
repeat.
are you having a mental breakdown right now?
Well, I don't get what that.
Yeah,
has
the
to do
fact
with
that
me.
you justify
Can
that you're not having a
can you
mental
let me-
breakdown
can you let me
entails you're
address-
having a mental breakdown.
Can you let me address the argument, right? Because I don't appreciate passive aggressive stupidity. Okay.
What's
Now,
the argument?
Again, I'll repeat. Can I be jihadist and not jihadist?
I
If
already
two-part
told
question,
you.
we'll begin-
I
we'll
already
begin part
told you there is no such
Okay,
contradiction
no.
entailed with negating the
If I
entity.
say, okay, is it a
Like,
necessary conclusion?
I've already went over this like 5 times, right?
Yes
so do you
or
know
no?
what do you
I
know
don't
what my
care.
response
Answer the
was?
question.
Do you know what my response was?
No, clarify again. No problem.
Look,
Consider me done.
when I say there is no such being such that he has the omni
My
properties.
my question isn't explain yourself. My question is yes or no. Or
Yes or no
maybe,
what?
I'm too stupid to answer.
Yes or no what?
Is it necessarily true that that I'm myself and can only be myself?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
Wait.
It is necessarily.
Yeah,
Would
if you
agree with that?
exist.
It is necessarily true because
Wait, let me
there is
clarify.
no potential.
Jihadist.
One more.
Jihadist. Look, let me
finish.
clarify. Let me
Let
clarify.
finish the question.
look, you asked me a
finish
question.
the
Can I not clarify my position? So it's.
This is how we're gonna deal with you if you don't let people finish, bro. Right? So again, now the second question would be, okay, is the reason why this answer is necessarily true is because there is no potential, yeah, in which I am not myself,
Jihadist.
right?
The idea is that's only
Yes or
necessary. Yeah, wait.
Yes or no?
Look, the idea is that's only necessary in virtue of the fact that you actually exist, right? That's the question. Does God exist?
Let's repeat. Okay, let's
So
repeat,
the argument
Is it necessarily
if A
true?
exists, the apple, right, that I gave
Is it
you.
necessarily true? Again, I'm not interested in your explanation. I didn't ask you to explain yourself. Okay, that wasn't my question. Okay, you're running away.
How am I running? No one's running away, right? You're just running away from the responses.
Then say yes or no.
You're
Turns.
running.
Say
I'm
yes
not
or
gonna
no.
get. I'm not gonna play this game of say yes or no, right? I'm gonna give an. I'm gonna give. No, I'm gonna give an actual answer, right? Like I'm gonna give.
Can you stop?
a-
Can you stop screaming into your
That's
microphone?
not the, yeah, but the answer is not related to the question. That's the problem.
If I ask you, is the sky blue, and your response is explaining to me how the sky is blue, that's not you answering my question. So.
Right, but you asked a
again,
loaded question. You know what that
I'll
is?
repeat- No, it's not a loaded question.
Yeah,
because I didn't
it
ask
is.
you. I didn't ask you why did you kill your grandma. Okay, it's not a loaded question. Don't be stupid. Now, again, I'll repeat. Now, would you agree that the reason why this conclusion is necessarily true is because there is no potential in which I am not myself? Yes or no?
No, obviously not, right?
Okay.
Because wait, hold
Is
on,
there a
no.
potential?
We're not gonna play this
Is
game
there
of
a
I'm gonna
potential?
immediately
One
steamroll the
moment.
other
Is
person.
there a potential?
You're gonna let me speak,
Is
right?
there a
You've asked two
potential?
questions now. You're gonna
Is
let me
there a
speak.
potential?
No, you've asked
Is
two
there a
questions now.
potential?
Now we're gonna let the other person
Is there
speak,
a
right?
potential? Turns. This is what this is called investigating your position. Okay. So
No,
stop
this
trying
is just
to
called
debate.
Dunning-Kruger, right? Like you don't actually know any philosophy, so you won't actually
is
let
there-
anyone else speak.
I literally have a minor degree in the subject, so please let me finish. Okay.
Okay.
You could talk.
Okay, look, no, it's not necessary. It's not necessary, right?
You have 40 people. You have 40 people here witnessing that you're having like 10 mental breakdowns and screaming into your microphone because you cannot answer a basic yes or no question. Okay, so it seems to me that you are literally a goober who doesn't understand basic metaphysics and basic transcendental metaphysics. Okay, you're whining and not answering any questions. Okay, and then proceeding to persiflage about explanations. I'm not asking you about your explanation. It's a yes or no question. Now, is there a potential? Now that you said that no, the reason is not because there is no potential in which you are not yourself. Is there a potential where jihadist is not jihadist?
Yeah, the potential would just be stated as something like, well, jihadist doesn't actually exist to begin with, right? Just like the Apple example. She didn't want to seem to address.
Okay, whether I'm okay. The reason why I'm not addressing that is because in order for
You can't.
to clarify, in order for us to clarify any form or any object or to talk about it, it needs to at least exist conceptually. Otherwise, you would not be able to talk about it. Now,
The apple exists conceptually. The apple is identical to the apple, so it's necessarily that the apple exists.
The apple exists conceptually. The reason why I say it's irrelevant is because my point is not that it doesn't exist. Okay, my point.
The
is
apple
that
in your mind doesn't exist.
my point.
What?
No, that's not what I said.
Do you think
No,
that the
that's not what
apple
I
in your mind, just because you identified as the apple, exists in physical reality?
No, it exists. It exists conceptually.
Okay, yeah. So you can just say that. Oh, okay. So God, it just exists conceptually. All right. So you just imagine him. All right.
No, I don't say God exists conceptually. I say God exists really.
Okay. Then what's the issue with the apple?
Okay, the issue with the apple is that you are not ascribing it with any form of necessity. Now.
No. I'm defining this apple as I'm defining this apple as necessary.
Okay, does it have any form of omni attributes? Can it be itself and other than itself?
Yeah, it can only be itself, right? Because it's the law of identity.
Okay.
If
would you agree that there's only one reality?
If I play Little Uzi,
There's only one reality, yeah.
Cheering up.
Okay. Do you concede to Dewey's argument on conceptualism?
What is Dewey's argument on conceptualism?
If you don't know what Dewey is and you're having an argument about conceptualism, this shows to me that you are a doofus when it comes to philosophy.
Look, do you actually want to give the argument, or do you want to just insult people?
I'll explain what Dewey believed, right? No problem. I understand.
Yeah, hopefully maybe it can solve the apple example. I don't know.
Yeah, Dewey. Okay, so Dewey argued, that your concept comes first. There is no form of actual integration. Yeah, what's being integrated is your concept into reality, rather than reality into your concept. Okay, so do you concede to Dewey's example, or do you say no, Dewey is stupid and rather whatever is in reality, your mind conceives of it through integration. So it already exists in reality. You think of it in your head, and then it pops in your head.
I mean,
Yes?
you can think of something without an without integration, right?
No, I disagree. Every single thing that shows up in your mind is either a jambalaya of integration or things that you have seen before. You cannot imagine.
Yeah, but in any
something
case,
that has not been integrated.
yeah, that's I would negate that, right? But in any case, even if I
Okay,
accepted
if
it,
you would negate that, do you believe your mind creates things?
like what, the Loch Ness monster, of course, or like
No, not the
2
Loch
foot.
Ness monster. The
Of course.
Loch Ness thinking of the fact that you said Loch Ness monster yourself already shows that you have integration. Okay, you're already refuting yourself. Now again,
Okay,
can
here.
your mind
How about the
you create
pink-eyed monster that lies under my bed or
That
something?
refutes you again.
Like there's gonna
That
be
refutes you.
there's gonna be
You
some
just
things
refuted
such that
yourself
we know them.
Yeah, Pink already exists, and I already exist.
He just refuted himself twice.
You're refuting.
Wait, how?
You are now on a roll in refuting yourself.
Really? Well, how did I refute
Yeah,
myself,
Pink-
Jihadist?
Does pink exist in
I
reality?
hope he's not an atheist, bro.
Does pink exist in reality?
Yeah, pink exists in reality. Yeah.
Does I exist in reality?
Yep.
Okay, great. You
Does the
integrated
pink
these
monster
into-
exist in reality, Jihadist?
You
No, wait,
integrated.
how did you form it? How did you get that?
Yeah, you integrated
I-
pink and you integrated I. Okay, these are things that are already existent.
Did
Again,
the
I'll
pink
repeat.
monster? Does the pink
Can
monster already exist? Do you want to answer the question,
Can
or do you
your-
want to avoid
can
again?
your mind-
Does the pink monster
can your-
exist?
Yeah, pink monster does not exist. but
Okay,
it's
then you've
contingent-
refuted yourself. Good
The
job.
pink monster is contingent.
Good job.
No.
You refuted yourself.
Integrated
No,
from
it's
reality.
fallacious.
Yeah, it's fallacious.
What
You're
is that?
not
An
listening to the
informal or a formal fallacy?
He's integrating. He's integrating reality. He's like, oh, Jihadist, you refuted yourself. Is this so
Yeah,
fallacious, dude?
Yeah, this he does. It doesn't. He says it's a formal or informal. It's informal because someone like you is incapable of making syllogisms. So don't ever think. You have to
Really?
make a formal fallacy. Now,
Okay.
Again, we'll repeat. Yeah, absolutely. Show me a syllogism where you're not integrating stuff in your mind creates things. You cannot do it. Now, the very first thing you already refuted yourself is because pink is an integration from reality. I is an integration from reality.
How
Because
have
you
we
jambalaya
derailed this
them in
far?
your brain. Shut up.
Look.
I'm not done.
Look.
You jambalaya them in your brain. When you jambalaya them in your brain, that doesn't negate the fact that you've integrated both pieces of information. Okay? When I say, does your mind create things, can you create something that is not integrated? Can you point at something conceptually that is not integrated
Yeah,
at
I
all?
just
You
did.
name the pink eye monster. That's integrated. Why? Because pink exists in reality. And
Does
I
the
exist
monster
in reality.
exist?
It's integrated.
Does the monster
That's
exist in reality?
dude. Again, he's doing the
That's a-
fallacious.
Okay,
one.
then-
Because the
that's not
the
an
monster
issue.
You made is contingent upon integrated things.
I can't believe you actually. Yeah, I
Is-
can't believe
wait,
you're talking
no,
about
it's
this
not?
for real.
No, look,
Yeah,
look.
contingent upon created things, because
Look,
you wouldn't
no,
have-
the Loch Ness
you wouldn't
monster
have
doesn't
pink eye
exist, so
monster.
it's not actually integrated from reality. Like,
You wouldn't have pink eye. Hey, mouth breather, relax. Let me finish. Right? You wouldn't have pink eye monster, right? If you didn't see pink in reality and you didn't see eyes in reality, that wouldn't exist. Okay. Now, when I say your
yeah, but
mind
does the
creates
does the
things, it means
does the
absence of
monster
it.
exist? Does the monster exist?
Monsters exist. Monsters actually exist.
In the way,
Monsters
When you
actually
say,
exist.
does a pink eye monster exist? Your pink eye monster is contingent on integration. That's the point, doofus. Okay. Now, again, one last time. When I say your mind creates things, this is irrelevant. Yeah, it means it's absent. Yeah, of any form of integrated things. So you refuted yourself 4 times by naming the Loch Ness monster, by naming the pink eye monster, because these are things that you have integrated from in reality. Okay. You are a doofus. You don't understand philosophy. This is basic 101. You get taught this. Literally, the first thing you get taught is integration. Okay? Now, again, can you name something, yeah, that your mind created? Something that is not like pink eye monster, yeah, because that's not created in your head. That's integrated from things in reality. Then you reconstruct them in your head. That's not you creating something. Okay? For example, Dewey's argument when he said your mind creates things, what he means is that things like pink and I, yeah, your mind created them. You did not integrate them. In other words, you thought of them first and then they appeared in reality. Okay? So you're embarrassing yourself with your lack of knowledge.
I just feel bad that he made these examples. Actually, I actually feel bad for him. I don't know why he did that.
Look, I have the conversation recorded, so it's going to be very funny to watch.
That's
that.
bad.
We'll try one more time.
wait. So your argument is you
Well, so I wonder
created these
Can you
concepts
name
by your mind?
something-
Is that your argument?
Name something that is absent of integration that your mind created, please.
That's wholly absent.
Well, you said your mind can create things without integration. So
Yeah,
go
you
ahead.
said that.
Not
Yeah,
without,
something.
not wholly absent. When did I say that? I said that you can create some
Oh, so
things.
you're changing your mind.
Wait, when did I say that?
Now semantics. Now you're playing semantics.
No,
Semantics.
no. I didn't say no.
And
I said I never said wholly absent. Right? When was that claimed?
Okay,
Wholly
what
absent.
what you're doing is sophistry. Okay.
Why?
Now that you've realized
what makes
that
you say
your point
that?
is absolute BS, shut your mouth. Now that you've realized your point is absolute BS, you begin playing with the language because you just realized that you've been
Semantics.
No.
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
I
that's semantics
agree.
there.
Like,
Here's
look,
semantics.
Now-
for instance, I'm
now
looking
we'll
at your
try
profile picture, right? Like, say I
We'll
create
refresh.
some sort of mental image from it. Like,
We'll
obviously, I would agree that there's some sort of
Well,
integration.
refresh. Shut your mouth for a second. We'll refresh. Okay, no problem. We'll say you made a gigantic oopsie that you have like a.
Yeah, no one
complex-
made a gigantic oopsie, dude. You just
Well,
like
well,
misunderstood and then
The
strongman.
pink monster is not a gigantic oopsie. Okay.
Yeah, the idea is there's gonna be some
Well,
things for which you don't
Pink
integrate,
monster,
right?
that-
Like the monster doesn't exist, and yet you've created it in your
Pink
mind.
monster-
Monsters actually exist, bro. Monsters actually exist.
Not
Why
in
is
the
this
way that it's
insanity?
defined. No, not in the way it's defined. Not
Pink-
the pink-eyed
There's so
monster on
many
your bed.
languages.
I
There's so many
agree.
languages.
Look,
Wait,
I
in so
agree.
many
There's gonna
languages,
be some
a
sort of
lion-
integration,
a
but
lion
that
is a
doesn't entail.
monster.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
There's gonna be
isn't
some
it?
sort of
So many
integration.
languages-
This might-
A lion is a
wait,
monster.
Yeah. Again, we'll try again. We'll refresh. We'll say you made a gigantic oopsie. We'll restart. From
Yeah,
there.
yeah, no one did,
Okay.
but
Does your mind create things, or is everything in your mind from integration?
it's a mixture, right? What do you think a false dilemma fallacy is?
Okay, you said false dilemma fallacy has nothing to do with it. So you
It
said
does,
it's a
right?
mix-
You presented a dilemma. I gave a
If you
third
said it's a
horn.
mixture- No, because a false dilemma entails that there is no third conclusion, right? Now, okay,
No?
so you said
Wait,
it's a-
no. What do you think a false
you said-
dilemma
you
is?
said
That's
it's
not
a
what a false
mixture.
dilemma
One
is.
moment. Shut your mouth.
No,
for a
you don't
second.
even
You
know
said it's a-
basic philosophy. You don't even know
Shut
basic
your mouth
philosophy,
for-
dude. So a false
This is so
dilemma.
mad.
Look, a false dilemma is just gonna.
He's-
You
he's
said that a false
actually-
dilemma
he's-
entails that there's no third option.
Your own microphone is
He's
cutting
so
out.
mad. I don't know why.
Your own microphone is beginning to cut out at certain parts, indicating that even your microphone is telling you to shut up. Yeah? We'll try one more
Yeah.
time. You said it's a mixture. I asked him, is there things that are integrated? Yeah? Is everything that in your mind a result of integration, or is it something that your mind creates? He said it's a mixture, which means he still holds Dewey's viewpoint. If he holds Dewey's viewpoint, again, we repeat the same question. Can you name something, create something in your head right now that isn't a result of integration? So no
Yeah, I
integrated
just
things.
told you that's not even gonna be a question that's pertainable, right? Because I said it's a mixture, right? So I would just say yes, there's gonna be some degree of integration, but it's not wholly integrative, right? Like,
Okay.
like
Again,
here,
if you say it's
here.
not wholly integrative, what I'm telling you is that then you're saying there are parts that have zero integration, i.e., you still created something in your head that wasn't from a result of integration. So without saying pink or without pointing to anything in reality, yeah, name that part that is not integrated.
Yeah, it's already told you, right? Like I don't know how that responds. Like I already told you it's not wholly
If
integrative,
you say
right?
pink, if you say pink and I, these are things that are results of integration because you've observed.
Okay,
observed
Jihadist, here, let's just put it this way, right? Do you think people made up pagan gods?
Do I think people made up? What do you mean by made up?
Okay,
Like,
well, they
created
must
them
have
in
been
their head?
derived from somewhere, right? So they must actually exist.
They actually did. They
So,
actually did.
so they exist.
Yeah.
Okay, so paganism's
they-
true. Okay.
No,
But
no,
that's-
no, Yeah, listen.
Oh,
them
no, we're
creating-
stuttering now. Uh oh, got him in a contradiction.
No,
I'm waiting for you to stop having a mental breakdown.
don't
You're
know
the
what's
one
going
like
on.
stuttering
I
over
don't
the
know.
questions. Can't answer.
So-
You can't answer basic stuff, right? So, do the pagan gods exist? Yes or no?
Okay. Now that I'll mute you, I'll answer very, very normally. Okay.
I don't know why he's angry. Like he's so angry or
He
something.
has a very bad Napoleon complex. I swear. I feel like his mother did not hug him, and then he's just like projecting it all over Discord. Okay.
There's no need for you to be angry, bro. Just calm down.
It's okay. It's okay, Flame. It's okay. I have a MP3 playlist of atheists getting angry. I'll post one in VC text momentarily, where someone got so mad he threatened to stab my liver. So let's explain this. He said, "Oh, okay. Do pagan gods exist? Did they create them in their heads?" I said, "Yeah, they made up the pagan gods in their heads." And he says, "Okay, but do they exist?" No, they don't exist. Why don't they exist? Okay, because maintaining things from integration, i.e., if I look at another religion, let's say I look at someone worshiping God, that's a form of integration. And then I look at a stone, that's another form of integration. And then I look at a statue, that's a form of integration. And then I mix them up in my head. These are all still results of integration. Okay, now I would have a conceptual being which doesn't exist in reality. Okay? Nor will it exist in reality. Now, that does not mean that it's absent of integration, doofus. Yeah? Because what I'm saying, everything you have in your head, everything you make up in that tiny brain of yours, which I'm doubting that you even maintain now, okay, is a result of integration. Okay? Now, the challenge being is that if you reject that and instead favor Dewey's viewpoint, which is that your mind creates things, which has been already refuted from a long time ago, it's actually a fallacy, which is hilarious. Name something that is not a result of integration. Name something that you cannot integrate.
No, you already did, right? You already refuted yourself. Because you said that the pagan gods don't exist, right? But it's not wholly integrative, so the point still stands, right? It wasn't wholly integrative. No, let's let the other person speak. Yeah, so it wasn't wholly integrative, such that like these things didn't actually like exist, such that you believed them, right? There was things that you combined. Wait, there was things that you combined.
No, it was wholly integrative.
Okay, wait, what's the argument that it was 100% integrative?
Okay, so did you not listen when I muted you and started explaining to you?
You said that there was going to be some like mixture of things that made it such that you believed it, like the worshipping of God. You said the worshipping of God. You said, did you not say the worshipping of God, like statues and like other beliefs? Is that not what you said?
I said what I said was observation of other things. Yeah, is integration. So when I observe, let's say I observe a rock. Yeah, I observe someone worshiping, and then I observe religion, and then I make my own in my head, and then I create this conceptual being, and then I try to emulate what's in my head by trying to build a statue in reality of that God. That doesn't mean I brought the God into existence. Okay, that would mean that I'm still using integrated parts to build up some fake God.
Right, but it's not wholly integrative. You understand that point, right? Like
look,
for instance, like when we say wholly integrative, by that, look, when we say wholly integrative,
every single part of it.
Oh my God, dude.
It's wholly integrated. It's wholly integrated.
I'm not sure why is he like, yeah, why are you trying to negate
because
this?
He's not here to argue, right? He thinks he's like a genius in philosophy. The guy is literally, people are laughing at him and he doesn't realize it.
No one's laughing at me, dude. Everyone's laughing at you.
Pink monster, I really feel bad about this.
Look, the idea is obviously these pagan gods. The idea is obviously these pagan gods. No one's screaming, dude. My mic just may be a little bit odd, but I'm not screaming.
You're screaming. Yeah, I can tell you're screaming because I have a loud microphone, right? When you have a very loud microphone and you begin raising your tone, your microphone does something called a static cut. Okay, a static cut is that you are being too loud for the already loud microphone. Yeah? So I can hear you go, no, dude, these are called static cuts. Okay, so you are raging. Relax, take a sip of your water, stop sweating out your armpits, and let me finish. Everything, like, again, you've misrepresented the point that I made. Every single thing is fully integrated because every single part of whatever jambalaya you just came up with is from integration. It is observable first. Okay? Now I told you, name a part of whatever you make up in your head, yeah, that is not observable first.
We've been like running for this for like the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, and by observable you mean a posteriori?
No, I don't mean a posteriori. It's not knowledge that you have already in your head. No.
No, that's not what a posteriori means. What do you think that means?
Well, what do you define it as?
Wait. What do you, Jihadist? What do you think a posteriori means?
Either already existing knowledge, I believe.
No, that's not what it is. A posteriori just means like knowledge that's acquired by the senses, right? So is it knowledge that's acquired by the senses?
Knowledge. Right. So already existing knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, if you think that only a posteriori knowledge is possible, then any kind of a priori like logical inference isn't possible, right? Because you can't observe logic physically. No, that would be true.
That's not true.
You just committed yourself to that.
No,
a posteriori is referring to empiricism, dude.
Yeah, so this would commit you to empiricism if this is what you believe. That's what I'm trying to say.
I am, yeah.
But like, that's literally what he's trying to say the entire time, bro. What is he trying to say the entire time, bro?
Flame.
Are you committed? Are you committed to empiricism?
Hold on 1 second, because I want to embarrass you. Who would have known, Flame? I'm an empiricist. Who would have known? It's not as if I.
That's like a contradiction for theists. Anyways.
Actually, no, it's not. It's not.
Look, okay, so things can only be known. Things can only be known by the senses. In virtue of what is that true?
Yeah, sure. I can.
He's talking about from science. Yeah, this is like.
I can prove God through senses.
Okay, so you can prove a non-physical reality by physics?
Empiricism. Listen, if you want to go tack to empiricism, I can promise you now. Yeah? Promise
I'm not an empiricist.
I'm so surprised that he's using a plus try.
Look,
the whole entire time it was a plus try. Anyways, I don't know.
We can, look, put it this way. Can you prove empiricism empirically?
Can I? Is this David Hume's problem? Is this the one you're bringing up?
No, David Hume's problem is just like the problem of induction, but...
Okay, so can I prove empiricism is true empirically is something that's derived from Hume's dilemma. Okay, now, yes, you can. Why? Because you can test out the methods that are used for
that's begging the question.
Proving empiricism.
No, that's just going to beg the question. No,
it's not begging the question.
No, it is.
No, it's not begging.
No, it definitely is. You're using empirical standards, which is in question.
Asserting and crying does not help your case, okay?
No, what do you think begging the question is?
You can go around, shut your mouth for a second. You can go around and ask the hundreds of rationalists who brought the same thing, and they were surprised when they left with a big smack on their cheek. Yeah?
Really?
Now, again, no, it's not begging the question. Berkeley, in fact, refutes this completely. Okay? Do you know who Berkeley is?
No. Berkeley's not an empiricist. He was an idealist.
Berkeley
he didn't hold
is not
to that.
An empiricist.
He was an idealist, right? Have you read J.L. Mackey's book covering Berkeley?
Berkeley was an idealist.
He wasn't an immaterial realist, right?
Where are you from?
He didn't believe in sense datum.
Look what he said. Okay, look what he says. He says Berkeley was not an empiricist. Now you know what's funny?
He wasn't.
I want just everyone to go on Google and just type Berkeley, and the very first thing it tells you, George Berkeley was an empiricist.
Are you talking about the theist?
So again,
yeah, he definitely wasn't.
Very miseducated of Berkeley. I'll repeat. I'll explain to you why Berkeley already responds to this and completely.
I'm so worried about this man.
Dude, I am shocked. That this guy takes himself
Pink
seriously.
Monster.
Look. Berkeley denies the existence of material substances and says that the existence of substances depends on perception, right?
Berkeley, the guy who came out in public and said John Locke is right, yeah? And then he added on to John Locke's theory is not an empiricist.
No, he did not. He denied Locke's theories. He said that he tried to refute it from some sort of idealist perspective, right?
He added on to Locke's theory.
No, he refuted it from an idealist perspective, right?
Can you stop screaming so I can actually refute you?
No one's screaming, dude. My mic is probably just loud.
I noticed what you do is that when you begin feeling that you're on the back burner, you begin just talking a lot.
No, not at all. Look, if you're an empiricist, obviously you've just begged the question, right?
No, empiricists do not beg the question. What we do, first of all, by the way, I hope you even realize this is.
Yeah, I don't think he thinks that you cannot reconcile.
Empiricists and rationalists have different fallacies. This guy's embarrassing himself. So,
no, he also doesn't understand.
You don't think begging?
Wait.
You don't think begging the question is a fallacy?
Not in all cases, no. So
I'm just gonna say God doesn't exist in virtue of him not.
He would ask you to prove it.
Well, I wouldn't have to, right? Because the proof is just that he doesn't, right? That's my proof.
No, because that's a tautology. You're making a tautological claim. That's not begging the question.
No, that's not a tautology.
That's called a tautology.
No, what do you think a tautology is?
It's a statement that is self-evident. So when you make a self-evident
statement, you don't even know, like...
That's not something that requires...
He failed in so much.
Shut your mouth. You're
that's not what a tautology is.
So hard already. Okay? So, again... You're already very
look, a tautology, like, you don't know any philosophy, right? You already got Berkeley wrong. He was an
Berkeley being...
Yeah, he's an immaterialist, dude. He literally was refuting... Look, I can fucking send you a paper on this, dude. I was just reading this.
Can you stop screaming, and please? Yeah, I could already tell you're raging because you're cursing, okay? First of all, no, begging the question is not always a fallacy, and what you just did is not begging the question. You just asserted. That's called the fallacy of assertion, doofus. Okay. Now, the second of all, Goofy. Okay, Mr. Goofy here. Mr. Berkeley is an idealist, even though he added on to Locke's theory of properties by describing an apple with secondary properties. Let's address the following. He proceeds to proclaim, okay, that because I'm committed to empiricism, okay, then therefore what? Therefore, he has no actual argument. Okay. Like I said, I've mentioned earlier, we can produce the proof of God empirically. Okay, we have no issue with that, and we could prove. Necessity empirically. There is no issue with that. Okay. Now, when you proceeded to say that no, empiricism only begs the question, this is completely and utterly false. Why? Because, well, we maintain a type of method of integration. What is the type of method of integration? Okay, we proclaim that anything that you see first, okay, anything that you have in your brain, in your tiny little skull, yeah, as much of a dunce as it is, okay, is everything that you have derived from experience. In other words, if you don't experience, you cannot conclude that you exist.
Literally, that's
Right,
yeah.
Dave? So brain in a jar example and thinking that you're a cool rationalist and all the rationalists will stand behind you does not work in this field. Okay?
He failed. He
Yeah.
failed to give
Can
an example
you-
of something
look-
that is not integrated. He
Oh,
failed.
Oh yeah, of course I can. Like,
You didn't. You've been going for this
I
like
did.
over.
Look, I already
45
did, right? And I
minutes.
proved to you that it's not wholly integrated.
Pink
right?
Monster doesn't
Yeah,
refute
that's not,
Jihadist,
that's
bro.
not wholly integrative, right? And I already
That
told
is
you,
wholly
right? That
integrative.
begs the question, right? Because
Okay,
you're using
name the part
empiricism
that
to
is
prove
wholly integrated.
empiricism. Obviously,
Name the
that's just
part-
going to
okay,
beg the
name
question.
part of the pink eye monster. No problem. Name the part of the pink eye monster that isn't wholly integrated. Which part of it isn't integrated?
Yeah, the monster. It's not actually existing.
Monster
Or the pagan
exists.
god.
Monster actually exists. I
The
told you.
monsters
wait,
exist.
did-
Monsters
I
exist.
told
Oh, okay.
you.
So,
I even
all right,
corrected
all right,
you many
all right,
times that monsters
all right.
exist.
Look. Okay, so it's not. So it's fully integrative in virtue of monsters existing. Is that right?
What the?
Yeah.
Is that
Bro,
right?
bro, do you understand language?
Wait,
Do you know
God,
languages?
is that right?
Anything that you make up, look, anything that you make up in your head is a full-on product of integration. I.e., you cannot
Look,
make up something
Jihadist.
in your head.
The idea
Without-
of
Is that
a
right?
monster, I can
Got it.
tell that
Without
a lion
observing.
is a
Look,
monster in
can you
many
answer
languages.
the question, please? Can you just please answer the question? So,
Yeah,
so-
well,
He's running.
the
He's running
question-
away, Jay. Let's run away.
Yeah, look, this is what he does. He says, he asks a question, I'm answering it, and what does he does? He begins screaming, can you answer the question? Can you answer the question? He doesn't want to hear the answer. Right?
Turn.
This
It's
is very
okay if
common.
it's okay if you admit that maybe
Very
you can.
common.
Yeah, you can debate. It's no problem.
So-
There's no issue with that.
Okay. Yeah, listen, it's okay. He doesn't know who I am, so I excuse him. Yeah, he doesn't know that I debate people 10 times bigger than he'll ever do. Yeah. So, again, I'll repeat. Okay. Everything that you have, yeah, in your tiny little dunce brain, yeah, your tiny little non-existent brain, okay, is fully integrated. The reason why your little pink eye monster, okay, is fully integrated and it's not a mixture is because every single aspect of that monster is integrated. Now, when you say the monster itself is not an integration, you are refuting yourself. Why? Because the definition of a monster is something imaginary that is used from things that are already integrated.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell him. Animals. Some animals are referred as monsters. He doesn't want to get it. He doesn't want to get it.
So to me, you are very miseducated on philosophy. What I
Even
would
if he
suggest
says dragon, even if he says a dragon, he's still embarrassing himself.
Yeah. So again, I'll repeat the question one last time. Okay, what part of that monster? Yeah, what characteristic, what attribute, what offset? Yeah, of that monster. Okay, is not integrated. Because so far, you said
funny,
pink and
Jihadist.
I,
Jihadist is
they're
going as
fully
your example.
Pink and I, then they're fully integrated. And I think this is becoming sort of a projection because now I'm thinking you have pink eye.
Right, so your claim is that the monster is not integrative in virtue of it actually existing, right?
That wasn't what I said again.
Or
no,
similar
that,
things
bro.
existing, right?
No, that's not what I said either. Do you listen very closely? Listen, okay? I get it that your brain cells are trying so hard to connect right now, okay? But try your best. You're almost
yeah,
there.
no one's. Yeah,
Okay?
that's just you.
And
did.
don't think too hard, you might hurt yourself. Don't think too hard, you might hurt yourself. Listen very closely, okay?
I'm listening. Yeah.
For dummies like you, use Occam's razor. Yeah, the simplest thing that pops in your mind is generally the truest thing, okay?
Uh-huh.
Every single aspect of that pink eye monster, yeah, is fully integrated. There isn't a single aspect of that monster, okay, that is not integrated. You appealing to the being itself of that monster is you saying the monster is monster is monster.
Yeah, so
Okay?
what's the
That isn't
argument?
an argument.
What's the argument for that? That it's fully integrative?
Because it's fully integrated because every single aspect / characteristic
Already
/
exists in
attribute /
reality.
part already exists. Pink
So
already exists.
okay, so it already
Even
so
touch one moment.
okay, no,
One
so
moment,
you're
you don't
no,
get
no,
music
so,
again, let me
okay,
finish.
so the pagan gods exist. So the
Let
pagan
me
god
finish,
exists. So the
let me
pagan god
finish.
Oh,
exists.
he's
Okay,
making
so
the
you just
same
conceded.
mistake
All right,
again.
so you're a pagan now.
He's
Okay,
making
so
the same mistake again.
okay,
He's
so the
making
pagan
same
god
mistake.
exists. So the pagan god exists because it's
Yeah, look, you're doing
Okay.
it again. You're screaming, but you're
The
not.
same
you're not,
mistake over and over.
Same mistake. It's the same mistake. He doesn't learn. He doesn't.
Bro, at least learn from what he's saying, bro. At least learn from it.
The thing is, I've had an atheist previously that had the same beliefs as him. He came and he got educated and he said, "Thank you, Jihadist," and he was very polite and he left. right? He disagrees with me. Says I disagree with Jihadist. I think this is incorrect. Yeah, but he at least he got some aspects right. This guy is all over the place. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Okay. Again, listen very closely. I'll unmute you. Do not interrupt. Let me finish, and then you can talk, so we can have a properly discussed topic. Okay.
Dude, you'd be committed to paganism. That's the collapse.
So, no, I'm
it
not.
It doesn't seem like you have an answer. All you want to do is mute people because you can't answer.
No, bro, you're making mistakes.
Look, the idea is
maybe if you stop raging and interrupting me, yeah, maybe you'll have an answer.
It's insane.
Go ahead.
Okay, great. The reason why everything from that monster is fully integrated, okay, is fully integrated, not mixture, not half and half, okay, not 75%, not 20%, not 10% like your brain cells. No, it's fully integrated. Why? Because every aspect, every characteristic, every formality of that monster you made up in your head, okay, it's from things that already exist. And I asked you previously,
right.
I asked you and I posited to you, does pink exist in reality?
Yes.
Is it knowledge that already exists? You said yes. Does I already exist? You said yes. Okay, so what part of the pink eye monster, what aspect of it, what part of it is not fully integrated? And then you proceeded to say the monster itself. Now there's a problem.
That's the issue. Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah, you are appealing to the monster itself for being a monster. You're not actually providing for the aspects of the monster like you're being questioned to.
Oh, the idea is that the monster is going to be some imaginary concept that you made up, right?
Okay,
Just like
well, the monster exists without pink and eye.
Oh, yeah, they can exist without those things, without pink and eye, yeah.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. You are admitting in front of 40 people here that pink eye monster exists without pink and eye existing.
Well, okay, not the eye. Wait, no, not the eye, but it can exist without the pink, right? Because that's a contingent quality, right? That's not essential.
It's a pink eye monster.
Accidental.
Okay, I just want to be clear. So the pink eye monster, the pink eye monster exists without pink existing.
When we say it could exist without that existing, right?
Who's stuttering now, my friend?
No, look, the idea is there's going to be some accidental properties, right? That's the idea. So the idea is, look, you would just define, you would just call it by a different word, right? It would just be like the black-eyed monster or something.
Do accidental properties already exist?
Yeah,
they
exist, but they don't have to exist, right? What do you think accidental is?
He's still using from reality as well. He's still using integrated.
You heard what he just said? He just said, no, it does. The pink doesn't need to exist because there are accidental properties. And I asked him, do accidental properties exist? And he goes, yeah. So this is the mind of the atheist, right? He just told.
Yeah, I was about to say atheists are this bad today.
Yeah, no one cares about the meta, right? If you don't want to give a response, that's fine.
So again, that would be entirely nonsensical because anything that exists or claiming existence has to be derived from something. For example, if you say pink eye monster, that means pink has to exist. That's the point that I'm making. Okay. Now, if you're saying pink does not exist, can you point to me where pink where pink only conceptually exists?
No, you didn't understand the objection, right? So all I said was that there's going to be an accidental property inherent. No, all I said is that there's going to be an accidental property inherent to the pink-eyed monster, such that if you remove the secondary quality of the pink, then it's not actually the pink-eyed monster, and you just describe some sort of different word to it, right? Like black-eyed monster or something.
Okay.
So what's
that's still from integrate. You're still integrating, even if you're saying black.
Yeah, I already told you I do integrate, right? But it's not wholly integrative, which is what I'm trying to get at.
Then you're not. If this is your answer, you haven't listened to my question properly. I'll repeat. Does the pink eye monster exist without pink or eye?
Yeah, it can exist, right? What do you think an accidental?
What do you think
an accidental quality is?
Wait.
Yeah, without pink.
Okay,
yeah.
you said. Okay, so the pink eye monster can exist without pink.
Yes, it's an accidental property. You would just describe a different word to it.
Okay, do accidental properties exist?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how stupid you are to not realize what you're just saying. You're saying it cannot exist because it's an accidental property, but accidental properties are existent. Are you stupid?
No. When did I say it cannot exist? What do you think a strawman fallacy is, dude?
Okay,
I just said that it can fail to exist.
No problem.
Right?
We'll repeat the question. No problem.
You said that it cannot exist.
Okay. If strawman, we'll repeat. Let's repeat. It's fine.
Let's repeat the question until you realize how stupid your answer is. Okay. Does the pink? Yeah, I'll highlight even where your
You
problem.
should send him a record of this.
I'm recording.
Yeah, I'm already
Wallahi,
recording,
I'm
dude.
recording all
Like, you
these
look horrible,
letters.
dude.
he needs to listen to it, I guess. So he needs to listen to
Listen,
it.
listen very close. Listen very close. I'll even highlight with my
I'm listening
words, yeah?
very carefully.
I'll highlight. Okay? Does the pink, the pink eye monster, the pink eye monster exist without the color pink?
I already told you, right? It's an accidental property. What do you think that is?
Okay, you said it's an accidental property. Do accidental properties have to exist in order for us to call them accidental properties?
Yeah, they don't have to exist, right? What do you?
Okay,
That's what. That's the whole idea,
so
right?
before they exist, but now they don't exist. Okay.
Look, no. The idea
That's-
is that's not even what I
It's
said.
pink. It's pink and not
No.
pink at the same time.
No,
Jihad.
that-
It's just
when
pink
did-
and not pink.
No,
Right,
no
it's
one
fine,
said
it's
that,
fine.
right? The idea is
Watch this.
no. Look, you're not even representing me correctly, right? So look, look. The idea is it doesn't have to be that way, right?
That's fine, right? But don't use this as a method to run away now. Okay. Answer the following question about accidental properties. Okay. Can you
get up
name
there.
me an accidental property? Yeah. An accidental property. All right. That doesn't exist.
Yeah. So that's not even what an accidental property is, right? So when we say accidental,
but you
that just
said there
means
are
no.
accidental
Stop.
properties that don't
Stop.
exist.
Look, when we say. Yeah, there are accidental properties such that
Okay,
they could
name
fail
one.
to exist,
Name
right?
accidental
Like that's what
property that
accident. Look,
exists.
look. For instance, I'm looking at my water bottle right now. An accidental property would be something like the label, right? Like it can still be a water bottle and have a different label. That's the idea.
Okay. An accidental property is an essential property of an object. It's a property that it must have. Yeah, an accidental
not.
property is an object that it happens to have, but that it could lack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
It not lacking, does not mean that it no longer exists. So when I tell you, pink eye monster,
I'm back into this.
you've already categorized pink as an existent thing. Okay. So what my point is, you say pink eye monster, pink already exists. So you cannot have pink eye monster without pink because it wouldn't be pink eye monster. You understand?
Yeah. Already told
Okay.
you it's an accidental property, so you could have it,
So
right?
let's
And you would
try
just.
the question
I
again.
already told
So
you.
let's
I
try
already
the question
told you.
again.
I already told you that it's
Is the-
it's such that it
pink
could
eye
be
monster-
otherwise. It could be otherwise, right?
okay,
That's
my
the
question
whole
was-
idea of
my-
accidental.
My question wasn't could it be otherwise. That wasn't my question. My question was
That wasn't.
does the
What?
my-
No.
my question-
That's not
that's
even
my
his
question.
position.
Yeah, that's not even my position. Yeah, exactly. You're being a very big doofus. You just agreed with me, that it pink, in order to categorize pink eye monster, pink already has to be there. So I'm asking you, can the pink eye monster, I'm not asking you, can there be a black eye monster? Can there be a blue eye monster? Can there be an idiot eye monster? I asked you, can a pink eye monster, a monster with these two characteristics, pink and eye, exist without pink existing? In other words, can you say pink eye monster and pink is not a thing? It doesn't exist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In that case, I agree. But if your question was like, is there a
Oh,
contradiction?
oh,
Yeah, but
You're
if your
wasting my
question-
time.
look,
You're
if your
wasting my
question-
time. You doofus. You moron.
Look,
you
look,
asshole.
why,
the
why
question-
are you
the
beating
question
around
that
the
it
bush
seemed that you
like
phrased
those?
You're
earlier-
beating around the bush.
Look, no, not at all. Look, when you say can
Bro,
there be a pink eye
Turnz.
monster such that he doesn't have pink, right? Like I already
Just
gave an
now
answer
he
that was
realized.
pretty.
Just now he realized.
look,
that
all I
he's
said-
Did you realize how
all I
much time you
said
wasted just for just
all
saying
I
yes to
said
that?
was that there can be a pink-eyed monster such that you would just like
But
it wouldn't be pink.
he wasn't in
right?
his position. But that wasn't his position. He agrees that can be black eye monster, no problem. He has no problem with that.
Okay, yeah, then
Exactly.
yeah, then we agree.
Because
on
it's still integration. You're still integrating. It's not like you're getting anything out of your mind. You're just still integrating.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the idea
by
is-
the fact that you agree, by the fact that you agree, let's try again. Which part of that pink eye monster is not integrated?
Yeah, so it's gonna be
Now that you've
something.
agreed.
It's gonna be something like monster, right? I already went over this, or something like pagan god for in the pagan case, because these things don't actually exist.
You're like a broken look. You're like a broken.
Even the
record,
pagan god is out of integrated parts. Like
Everything-
even the
Yeah, but it's
pagan-
not wholly integrative, dude. I've already
Everything-
told you. I've already told you that there's a mixture, right? Like I don't think you're getting
No,
this.
because
Mixture.
we already said. No, because I already concluded. That's why we Muslims, we believe you cannot imagine God, because you cannot integrate God. Okay, the fact that you can integrate pagan God, it means that God is not real.
That is his false god.
Now-
Exactly.
No, I mean you
Exactly.
definitely
So
can,
again,
but I mean.
we'll repeat. Now we'll repeat. Okay, which part of that pink eye monster? Yeah, which characteristic of this pink eye monster that you're referring to? This monster that you're referring to? Which characteristics, which there are only two, pink and eye, okay, which of its characteristics are not integrated? Please.
Yeah, the characteristics are integrated, but the thing itself is not integrated.
Okay,
right? It
so
doesn't
would you
actually
agree?
exist.
Would you agree that this monster, this conception of pink eye monster, is not a thing without these two integrated items, which is pink and eye?
Would you agree that the monster doesn't exist, so it's not integrated?
Don't answer my question with a question.
God.
Yeah,
Okay.
I already agreed with you. Yeah, it's integrated, but it's not wholly integrated.
Okay.
Like what the fuck?
No,
Like I've already answered you like
okay.
80 times.
No, you
Yes.
repeating the same. No, you did not. No, you did not.
Yes,
what I'm
yes, I did.
showing you is that your answer is contradictive to what you're claiming. Okay, what you're doing is called rejecting the premises of rejecting the conclusion of your premises. Okay, because you agreed that every aspect of that monster is integrated, and then you said it's not
No.
wholly integrated. Now, again, I'll
Like,
repeat. If it's
no,
not wholly integrated,
no, the aspects.
which
No. You
which
asked me. No.
aspect
You asked me
turns,
about.
you're doing it
You
again.
asked me about
Bad boy.
specific. You asked me about specific.
I don't want to
things.
muzzle you again. Turns, bad boy.
Yeah, you haven't
Which-
done anything.
which
Dude. You asked me about a
aspect-
specific
Which aspect
characteristic.
you're as of right now, you are being so severely intellectually molested, yeah, to the point
Really?
where it's now
No,
becoming
not
a
at all.
sad
Like
form.
you had to
Yeah.
derail to this stuff. 'cause
Not
you
at
can't actually
all.
defend
He's
the
saying not
contingency.
at all. He's saying
We'll
not at
try
all.
we'll try one more time, okay? Which you said it's not wholly integrated. Which aspect, which characteristic, yeah, of this monster is not integrated?
Right. So it's gonna be something like the fact that it has like
What?
these weird limbs,
What?
right? Or it's gonna be some kind of like thing inherent to the quality or some
Limbs.
kind of composite.
Limbs? You didn't say the pink eye limbed monster.
Look. The idea is there's gonna be something true of the monster that isn't actually
limbs
representative of
already-
reality,
by the-
right?
even
That's
in
the
that
idea.
example, by the way,
Even the
in
limbs
that-
destroys the entire thing even more.
even in that example, you shoot yourself in the foot because limbs are already integrated. You can see limbs in reality. So again, we're back to square one. What part? Don't say something. Yeah, give me that thing. Name it. What is the thing that is not integrated about it? You said limbs. Limbs already exist. You said
Flowers.
eye already exists. You went over pink. Pink already exists. We had a full-on 20-minute argument where you, at the end of the entire argument, you ended up saying, "Oh yeah, I agree with you." After wasting my time and acting like a
Yeah,
doofus.
the idea
okay?
is there's gonna be something true
Which part-
of the monster that
which
doesn't
part
actually
is not-
exist, right? Like, do you think that the entire monster exists? Like, what is your view?
Which part?
I refer
Look,
to in language that
No,
monsters
the
actually
idea-
can
the
refer
idea
to
is
animals.
There's gonna be something true of the monster that's not true of reality, right? Which is what I've been trying
He,
to
he,
get at.
even, he even explained to you that like there are
Yeah.
like the word monster itself is used or derived from a real
Okay,
real things that
what
already
I'm
exist.
Yeah, there's gonna be
Yeah, what
qualities
I'm saying-
derived, which I agree with.
Imagining a being, listen, imagining a being, I'm saying you imagining a being in itself is integrated. Yeah? We just call things that are ugly monsters.
Wait, what's the
So it's
argument
a
for that?
bug when it's a monster.
Wait, what's
Okay.
the argument for that?
He already showed you. He already
What, the
showed
beings
you.
are
No,
integrated?
he just shifted the burden and said, well, you have to name something, like, you have to give an argument, right?
But that's my argument. My argument is that every
Yeah, that's
part
just
of
burden
it is
shifting.
fully integrated.
No,
That's
no,
not-
no.
you'd
He's
have to-
telling
you'd
you.
have to
he's
give an
tell- he's
argument.
telling- He's telling you that you
You'd have to
you
give an
can't
argument.
get something out of your mind that is not integrated. That's why he's telling you all the time.
No, you have to
that's
give an
why- that's why
argument
for
that
the past
everything's
40 minutes
integrated.
you've been beating around the bush.
I don't understand why atheists are like this today, man.
My friend, I promise these are not the majority of atheists. Well, I know some atheists that are.
No, I've seen
hear-
smarter than
if they
this.
hear-
I've seen smarter than this.
If they hear this guy today, they'll convert from the amount of stupidity. They don't want to associate with this guy anymore. They'll convert just for the sake of association.
Okay, dude, if anyone hears you, they're deconverting, dude. Like,
So
There's an
alhamdulillah,
atheist. I mean, I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
we
need
have
to brag.
Muslims. No?
Alhamdulillah. See, I don't need to brag. My status is known. So I'll
yeah,
repeat.
there's nothing that you
okay?
can brag about.
I'll repeat. Okay, I know because bragging is haram in Islam. I don't brag. So again, okay, we'll try one last time. I'm telling you, it is fully integrated. Every aspect, everything you
what's the
mentioned,
argument?
even the being of that monster is fully integrated because beings already are something that you can observe. Okay, now, what part, what aspect, what characteristic of that monster that you just made up in your head, the pink eye, four-limbed monster, whatever the crap you just added at the end, okay? What part of it is not integrated?
Yeah, I already told you, there's going to be some things true of the monster that aren't demonstrative of reality or representative.
Like what?
That's something. Yeah, but okay, we get it. Something.
Yeah,
What is that?
Like what?
Like, look, when we say the pink-eyed monster, right? There's going to be something like, I don't know, maybe it has
You're
like,
repeating yourself. Like what? Something. What? Something.
Even if you said unicorn,
something.
even if you
There's
said
gonna be
unicorn, if you said a
Yeah.
dragon, if you
You
said
look
whatever you want to
inside.
say, like
Flame. Listen, if we look in the sky, there's something. But what is that thing? Dude, it's just something. Are you
Wait,
like,
hold on.
Biden?
Are you disagreeing? Wait, hold on, Jihadist. Are you disagreeing that there's going to be something true of the pink-eyed monster that makes it not representative of reality?
Every single part of your pink eye monster is derived from reality. You saw it first, and then you mix it up in your head. It's called integration.
I'm trying to help him by giving him weird kids like unicorns, dragons. Like I'm just showing him it's not gonna work in any way. Like no matter where you go, it's not gonna work.
Every single aspect is integrated. You see, this is the part where rationalism fails to answer, is that when we challenge them on things in reality, your entire world begins to crumble because your entire life you've been making up stuff in your head, and rationalism lets you go
Jihadist.
No, I don't think he knows that empiricists can actually reconcile with rationalism as well. I don't think he knows this.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Wait, do you not, Jihadist, real quick, do you not believe in a priori kind of truth?
Do I not believe in a priori kind of truth? Like what? Give me examples.
Like something like logical contradictions aren't possible, but that would still be known even if there were no like a posteriori knowledge.
Given like a real
example.
Okay, like for instance,
the example of a tree falling.
Like
and
for
me
instance,
not hearing it.
Say not that. Say like Allah withheld from creation or something, right? It would be the case that there would be no beings besides Allah that could like know with this kind of knowledge, right? But he could still know a priori that say like a contradiction is impossible, right? Or like that would still be true, trivially. But you wouldn't know that a posteriori or by the senses, right? That's going to be something that's known in the armchair, right? That's a philosophical truth.
Wait a second. Isn't experience? Jihad, isn't experience a posteriori as well? Experience, like being able to experience.
That's what that was gonna be response.
Yeah, but that proves God. That really proves God. But that's just
anything that's a priori. Yeah, anything that's an a priori is already presupposed by experience.
Anything that's not a priori is
It's
just like the integration example, like he was giving.
Anything that is a priori, yeah, or a prior. I have problems.
A priori.
I can't, for the love of me, when it comes to a priori.
Yeah, well, the idea is if this is the case, then there would be something true of the pink-eyed monster. There would be something true of the pink-eyed monster that you don't know.
Something's true. You're talking about pink. So you're thinking the pink
there would
and
be
the
something
eye.
true. That's what I'm trying to get at.
No, but we already presuppose it by experience. Like, for example, if someone never observed the color pink, you telling him about the pink-eyed monster does not mean that pink no longer exists in reality or isn't integrated.
No, but I don't think
it just means that it has been integrated to him.
Wait, go ahead. Sorry.
Experience already. That is enough, actually.
Anything that's a priori is already presupposed by experience. So let's say you go to someone who's never observed the color pink or never observed his eye. I don't know. He's living like in the dark for his entire life, and then bam, he just opened the door one day. Okay, tell him about the pink eye monster. Okay, that doesn't mean that the color pink now no longer is objectively existent. It's already there. We presuppose pink already exists. So when you tell him about the pink eye monster, he already presupposes that he can experience these characteristics.
Yeah, so I mean, the idea is like there's going to be some sort of like a priori knowledge that like God has or something, or that you could have without, in the absence of, say, any kind of a posteriori truth, right?
No, that's not true. Okay,
I'll give
you an example.
Look.
If I give you a knife, let's say you've never touched anything sharp in your, have you ever had surgery?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Okay, did you go undergo general anesthesia or what type of anesthesia?
Just general, I guess. But
okay, we went on general. Okay, well, have you ever went skydiving?
No, I haven't.
I did once. Okay. It was horrible. I'll never do it again.
When you go skydiving, okay, there is a little belt on your back. Yeah.
Yep.
That belt on your back is responsible for clamping you down to the parachute. So that if that belt disconnects, you will disconnect from the parachute and you will fall to your death. Okay. Now you've never experienced it, but me telling you about this already presupposes, from your perspective, that you can experience it too. You understand?
I already did.
Right. Yeah. So I agree. There's an experiential sort of thing going on here. But the kind of argument I'm trying to give you is something like you can know these things without experiencing these things at all, right? Like, for instance, say with Allah withheld from creation. Like, for instance, you don't think Allah had to create, right?
Do I think Allah had to create? Well, there's two positions in Islam on this I could defend either.
Well,
I
look, do
personally
you think
believe-
like Allah had like free
I
will? He didn't
personally
have
believe
to.
God began to create. What?
Well, do you think that Allah like had the free will to like withhold from creation?
Yeah, he could have chosen not to create any of us.
Yeah, okay, so like Allah would supposedly know something that's not by the senses, right? And he would know that a logical contradiction is in the case, or we would know that in such a universe or a possible world in which Allah didn't create, right? Well, logical contradictions aren't possible, right? But we haven't experienced such a thing.
But your example doesn't work because you're presupposing that God gains experience gains knowledge from experience. I'm telling you, God is already all-knowing. He doesn't require experience. He
Yeah,
already knows
so
everything.
yeah, but
we do, and that's actually the enjoyable part of our existence. That we
For you-
love to
for you,
experience
though,
things.
For you though, you need to experience something to know it, right? So, for example, if I tell you about a God and then this God has zero effects on you, okay, that are observable, okay, you would not believe in that God, right? But if there are observable effects from that God to you, you would believe in that God, correct? That's why, for example, God proceeds to punish those who do not listen to him.
well,
right?
I mean, like,
And this
the
punishment
idea is like,
recognizable by the signs.
well, I mean, like the idea is going to be something like, well, we know some things a priori about this metaphysical kind of world in which maybe God withheld from creation, right? Because that's a possibility, in which we haven't experienced any of these things, right?
Well,
But
I don't say it's a possibility anymore, if that's what you're asking me.
well, yeah, not
I believe
anymore,
God is
but it
necessary,
was.
and I believe there's only one reality.
Well, yeah, but like, wait, are you
Yeah, but
necessitarianism?
it's like we're saying we're jumping from potentiality to actuality. As well. We're saying Jihadist.
The fact that we exist already eliminates all types of possibilities that could occur. So there is no possibility where God does not create us.
But I thought you just said earlier that God, like, back then, like, he could have just, like, withheld from creation. Also, like,
Yeah,
God
prior
is
to-
timeless, though.
yeah,
Like, you don't think God is, like,
Yeah,
bound
because
by...
if you talk about potentiality, yeah, sure, no one has any issues with potentiality.
Yeah, I believe God acts only temporally, right? He himself is timeless, but he acts temporally. So prior to us being created, okay, yeah, he could have chosen not to create us, right? But if he wills for us to be made, then all the other possibilities are closed down. Now it's necessary that we exist, otherwise he fails to be God.
Wait, it's necessary we exist. Like, do you believe in, like, necessitarianism?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in any case,
That was his response.
wait, and you were arguing for contingency?
Bruh.
Wait,
Bruh.
contingent facts wouldn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
exist then, because, like, they're necessary, right?
That's under Baruch Spinoza's dilemma of necessitarianism. I follow Leibniz's necessitarianism.
Wait, what did he say about necessitarianism?
Okay, so necessitarianism is just the absence of possibilities from the future once they've already committed. In other words, if I punch someone, that's it. It's never going to change. I cannot go back in time and change it. All the possibilities where I did not punch someone yesterday are now shut off.
Wait,
There's no other possibility.
Do you think God can't, like, go back in time? Like, what would be the contradiction with God
No.
like, going back in time and, like...
No, God going back in time now disqualifies his being from being timeless.
Well, he wouldn't even have to go back in time, right? Like, it would just be, like... He wouldn't be temporally bound, right?
No, because God cannot go against his own word. If he wills,
Yeah, I was about to say, like, why is he saying, like, he can go against his own nature? That means he's not God anymore.
Okay,
We don't believe God changes wills based on.
It's just, like, confused. Wait, Turnz, I'm just curious where you're from, bro. Like, it seems like you have very basic understanding of, like, Islam, really.
I'm from the U.S.
Yeah, that's why you guys, Islam is not common over there. Like, maybe this is the first time you come to debate here.
Look,
Yeah.
all hostilities aside, I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, well, I
like,
think
don't try
I'm,
don't try to assume the Islamic position because that would be bad, really.
Well, I'm an ex-Christian, but I'm not gonna say, like, that's anything like Islam. I mean,
Yeah,
very
it's similar
different.
to my friends from Canada. They left Christianity because of Trinity. Yeah, so I think you guys both have similar stories, I guess.
Well, I do think that Trinity is incoherent. I mean,
Yeah, that's what my friends said from Canada. They left Christianity because of the Trinity. They said that problem was the idea itself.
well, it was more like something. Well, I don't want to derail, but it was more like problem of evil. But so that would, like, apply to pretty much any classical theistic kind of position. But I still do.
I'm just
think
saying,
that
like,
Trinity
Islam is
incoherent.
not that popular. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, I do agree with you. I do agree with you that Christianity is false, but it doesn't mean